because I got in on the ground floor of Libsyn, which I think is one guy named Rob. I think Rob is
Rob Walsh.
Yeah. I think Rob is just he owns an island, and because whenever I ask for any help over at Libsyn, it's always Rob.
It is.
And I've never met anyone else from Libsyn.
We remember when Rob was hired at Libsyn.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yes.
And so do you know the Ken and Karen of Libsyn? Like, do you know the owners? Have you ever met?
The owners have switched. So the first year that we did podcasting, again, it was very nerdy, and there was all of a sudden a convention. And so again, we were made fun of, like, now we're going to the convention of nerds.
Where was the first convention?
In
Oakland?
No, in California, but south of here, it has a Canadian name, but it's like Ottawa, California, or something weird like that. But
Ontario?
Ontario, it could be Ontario, California.
Yeah.
Yes, that.
Okay. There was a podcast festival in Ontario, California in 2005.
We wouldn't call it a festival.
Okay.
It's a festival.
Was it a convention of 12 like-minded individuals? What was it?
It was.
It was the first con, though, that you had ever heard of, and had they been going for time before you?
No, this was the first podcasting get-together, period, end of story. And Libsyn had a lot to do with it.
And Libsyn, okay.
They threw a party there. And what was happening is nerds tend to infight, right? And so
They can. They should. They don't on the dork for us. Safe space. Go.
But yeah, our people were pretty kind to each other.
Yeah.
And people were forming a lot of relationships. But there was infighting between shows because people would just get butthurt. So now all of a sudden we're going to this convention to meet some of the people that have been listening and some of the people who have been helping us and some of the people that we connected with as other podcasters. But also some of the people who shouted us out on their show, like, who does Keith and the girl think they are?
Oh
and
my
it was
God.
this big dorky fight. It was so
Right.
funny. Some guy was like, I have a knife. And when you come here, and we were like, you are joking. You're the biggest nerd. So our audience.
Yeah.
And this was back in the day in the internet where you couldn't just Google people's things, you know? This one guy that just opted in for for Keith and the Girl Enemy number 1. Opted in, loved it, poked it, was encouraging it.
Right.
Our listeners, we would just talk shit back and forth on our shows, and then our audience decided they found his home, they found how much he paid for it.
Oh my God.
What his wife was like.
Right. The thing is, you start fighting nerds, and nerds have skills.
Yeah.
They have weird
Yeah.
nerd skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only know like the ones and zeros. These guys know the twos and threes. You know what I mean?
Oh, you just got binary.
Yeah.
And and was he kidding? I mean, were they playing, or was it?
He was pretty
He was
feisty.
genuinely-
He was threatening Keith more than me, obviously. Well, Keith and him Keith would like to get into more of that
Like
argument.
beefs?
Yeah.
I enjoy the petty beefs. Yes.
Okay.
Kind of just like, you don't have to spend your time responding to this hateful email. And I'm like, you make time,